So I'm just going to introduce the use of botulinum toxin in ophthalmology. Botulinum toxin is a very potent neurotoxin produced by the anaerobic bacteria Clostridium botulinum. And there are various toxins that are produced by this. Neurotoxin A is the one most commonly used. Also, neurotoxin B is also used. The mode of action, it blocks the release of acetylcholine at the synapse, causing a flaccid paralysis. And the action is more on the motor muscles and not so much on the sensory part. So the clinical indications are neuromuscular disorders leading to muscle spasms or overactivity, cosmetic indications, strabismus, even used in headache, epiphora. There are a lot of indications. I'm just restricting to the ones in and around the eye. And it was FDA approved the use of toxin in 1989 for blepharospasm, strabismus, and hemifacial spasms. In ophthalmology, we can basically divide it into cosmetic and therapeutic. The therapeutic is mainly neurological, like essential blepharospasm, myofascial spasms, hemifacial spasms, torticollis, and tics and myokemia. But there are other ophthalmological indications like paralytic strabismus. For example, in this case of a bilateral sixth nerve, we inject the medial rectus, which is now the only, the main muscle acting in the eye, inject with Botox and do a muscle sharing surgery for the lateral rectus, and we are able to get the eye into the center. And the importance of the paralyzing the MR is giving the other muscles time to act. The sharing procedure gives it some time to act. And in these cases, we don't need to repeat the Botox injection. It is also now, we are finding use for epiphora in, for whatever reason. In this case, it was a bicanicular injury. So we inject 5 to 8 units into the lacrimal gland, and we can decrease the epiphora to quite some extent. Also in facial nerve synkinesis, where there is aberrant regeneration, misdirected fibers, we can inject into the muscle fibers. And when we want to induce ptosis, like in facial nerve palsy, where there is exposure keratopathy, or if there is lid retraction and we don't want to do a permanent procedure, we can then induce ptosis with a toxin injection. Essential blepharospasm is one of the commonest indication that we would find in a practice. And this is an involuntary forced contraction of the orbicularis processes and the corrugator muscle, and it may be one or all. It could be mild twitches to a totally disabling lid closure. Some people, usually bilateral, but can start out with one eye a little more than the other. And it can be triggered sometimes. It can also be various forms like an oromandibular dystonia, in which there is twitching around the mouth, or a Meek syndrome. So it's a spectrum of disorders, and when it reaches the part where there is a disabling eye closure, then the patient absolutely needs to come for treatment. The other common condition that is seen in an ophthalmology practice is a hemifacial spasm, which is an intermittent synchronous gross contracture of one side of the face. Very rarely it is bilateral, and it is said to be due to irritation of the facial nerve root at the brain stem. So it's very important in these cases to rule out a seventh nerve lesion. And so it may present to you, but actually there could be some intracranial problem. So before actually treating, you must rule out a seventh nerve lesion. So there are now a lot of toxin availability, and there are many companies also that are now supplying this toxin. So there's even an indigenous company which is supplying. So we can compare them, and more or less they are quite similar in action. And though some of them which are more widespread, obviously there is more work and more studies that have been done on them. Dr. Vikas is going to be talking about the dosages. I just want to highlight that we are using maximum only 100 units in blepharospasm, maybe 60 to 80 units. Though this is a toxin, but the human lethal dose is very, very high, and it is unlikely that we are ever going to reach anywhere near that dose. So this is not, this is a safe procedure. If you follow the, the dilutions and do it properly, it is a fairly safe procedure. So we can do this in our OPD setup, taking a few precautions as the later speakers are going to highlight. So the cosmetic indications, I know the toxins seem to be more popular for the cosmetic indications. And as an ophthalmologist, at least the ones around the eyes, they will come to us. So there's frown lines, facial wrinkles, crow's feet, smoker's lines, Marriott lines, lines around the nose, around the mouth. So all of these can be corrected. And the important thing in the cosmetic use is that we can correct the dynamic wrinkles. That is, the wrinkles that appear on movement of the face, on smiling, on wrinkling our eyes, crinkling our eyes. So those are it is going to work on the dynamic wrinkles and lines and creases. It does not work on static. So that's why people come in a little earlier while the creases are beginning to form, rather than coming in later once the creases are permanent. So just briefly, the injection is we are going to inject into the muscles. So like the orbicularis is just below the skin. So it is into the muscle that we need to inject. And we use a very fine 26 or 30 G needle. And in the demonstration, all of that is going to be shown. And for blepharospasm, again, they will show you that you have to choose your sites, then choose the dose. And there would be multiple sites. And usually the effect of these lasts from 3 to 6 months. So you need to repeat it after 3 to 6 months. Okay, thank you.